Well. How are you doing out there? Yeah, it is. It is Simon Pink on Poppyland Radio. But you knew that already because you're already listening. We have with us today a superstar, Mr.
No, you're right.
Richard Colburn. Oh, yeah, well, a superstar. He is the drummer. He's played with bands such as Snow Patrol, and he's the drummer for Belle and Sebastian. Been out on tour. He's telling us all about going out on tour, supporting U2 and Ed Sheeran and people like that. So yeah, he's been there, seen it, had it, done it, got the T-shirt as well. So Richard, we get a lot of younger musicians listening into the show, wanting to be where you are, in a few years' time. Have you got any tips for younger musicians, how to get out there, how to make a name for themselves, how to be good, how to be the best like you are?
It's quite hard at the moment because there's so much music that gets released every day, So I think my advice is to start a scene on your own. Start up a little scene wherever you are, whichever town and city, and get like-minded people. And maybe instead of just making music, there has to be a little bit more to it. And whether that's putting nights on, whether that's doing things a little bit outside the box, that would be my advice. On a musical thing, just specifically for musicians, I regret not practicing enough and just kind of listening to tons of different music, and networking and meeting people. That's another big thing as well. It's just getting out there and meeting people, because when somebody's in town that you've had contact with, and vice versa, when you're on tour or wherever you are, and the more people you know and more places, the more people that you can hook up with and you can do things with and have ideas and all the rest of it. Because it's the music industry is big, but it's actually a cottage industry, really, because it just is. And once you get to know people, people tend to, especially in the industry side of things, people tend to move around jobs quite a lot. So your contacts become far and wide, but it still is quite a cottage industry. It really is. So I think for me, it's like networking and meeting people, and collaboration's a big thing these days as well. But look after your own ability, and keep doing what you're doing. If you're a writer, keep writing. If you're a drummer, keep just play all the time.
Too right, absolutely, and keep listening as well. That's the important thing. What's going on out there. I think that's. And talking about listening to people, is there any sort of newer artists out there that have caught your ear over the last few years?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I listen to a lot of radio these days, actually. So, you tend to listen without, unlike buying records where you concentrate really on one thing. Radio is a bit transient, where you kind of. I'm trying to think. Always tons of good stuff coming out. But Jockstrap, I like that record, actually. That came out not that long ago. That's a fantastic. The name, because at first I thought Jockstrap, well, that sounds a bit. And then I heard the music, and the music's totally different to what I thought. Obviously, the name, but it's a really brilliant album. A guy called Sylvan Strauss. I'm trying to think. There's loads of good stuff. There's so much stuff. It's incredible, actually. There's so much stuff.
Fantastic stuff. I'll have to check Jockstrap out. I don't know if I dare type it into the internet. That's the only thing. I might get the wrong thing.
Who knows what will come up?
That was out. Yeah. And who? You're hanging out with a band at the moment. So Stuart, Sarah, Stevie, Bob, the rest of the guys from the band. Have you got any other sort of artists or friends that you hang out with at the moment?
I'm trying to think. It's funny because I've got 2 young kids, so that takes up an awful lot of time. Like my wife. And my son, who will be 12 in August, and my daughter, who's coming up for her 7th birthday. So that kind of takes care of that. As far as
I bet it does.
So it's usually just band stuff and home stuff, which is great, And I occasionally I'll go down and visit some of the boys from Snow Patrol and whatnot. But that's kind of about it at the moment.
Yeah. Well, behind every top musician, there's always a top lady as well. So the wife is sort of, I guess, when you're away on tour, she's
yes,
Jolene, fantastic. Well done, Jolene. Yes, because she's looking after kids when you're away on tour and teaching and drumming and stuff like that. So good on her. That's what I say. You always need people like her.
Unbelievable, absolutely.
Yeah, and my wife as well, Gemma. So she does exactly the same. So yeah, she helps me out in marketing and stuff like that as well. So she sells the CDs as well, puts them in the post for me and stuff like that. We need people like that. It's really really important to do that. So yeah, and plans for the future then. I mean, Belle and Sebastian, that's going to be carrying on for the rest of the time, I would have thought. Now, have you got any other projects, anything else on the go?
Well, I think we'll do this tour, and then I think next year we'll get back into doing some kind of recording again. The DJing hopefully will pick up a bit more, and I kind of, we're thinking of doing different projects within the group. Other people as sort of main writers and stuff. So I've got a little studio set up here as well. So I think I'll get back into that. I use Ableton a lot and different kinds of software and whatnot. So it's good for coming up, and I love re-editing tracks and stuff for DJing and doing remixes and stuff. So that will probably, and as I say, I'm the last time I spoke to you, starting drum lessons, which has been great as well, online. So I am actually getting lessons again, first time in a little while. Everybody should always do it. You're never the complete musician ever, There's just so much great info and stuff out there. So I'm enjoying doing that, and that will hopefully, sort of go on from here.
So if our listeners want a drum lesson with you, where do they find you?
If you go to mydrumlessons.co.uk, and my address,
mydrumlessons.co.uk,
yeah, and all the information that you would ever need will be on that, as in how to start. I'll be on there as well, and it's mydrumlessons.co.uk/Richard Colburn. And I do face-to-face lessons online, and I'm happy to help anyone. And there's such a ton of information on the website. If you're just starting out, it's fantastic because it gives you a lot of great information, where to start. So it's a great little kind of hub of information.
Wow. So look, listeners, if you're looking to start drum lessons, or even if you are a drummer and you want drum lessons from one of the top drummers in the universe, and I can't, Richard, stop laughing. Come on, you played with the ball, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sitting on this Zoom meeting at the moment. Then go to mydrumlessons.co.uk/Richard Colburn, and you'll get him on there. Look, it's been a real pleasure to speak to you. There've been some great stories.
Thank you, Simon.
There'll be lots more, so we'll get you back on again in a few months' time.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming. Have you enjoyed yourself today?
Yes, thank you so much. Both times have been absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it, and it'd be great to do it again.
It's been an education for me as well. Thank you so much, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thanks, Richard.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Simon. Take care. Bye-bye.